Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo-da. Hey, I think we're live. We're live. Hey, friends, neighbors, pilgrims, citizens, English learners. So we're doing a live class today, but it's going to be just a Q&A, sort of a relaxed Q&A, not our usual sort of live class where I have a bunch of topics prepared. I just wanted to make it more of a freestyle type thing. We have the WhatsApp group open now, so if people want to just chat during the day, you're welcome to join the Cloud English WhatsApp group. I'm going to pop the link to the WhatsApp group into the chat here. And no, that's not what I want. Hey, I guess I'm the leader of the group, but I don't want it to be like a group where I'm saying, oh, this is what we're going to do today. I'm just a member of the group, okay? I want it to be an English learning environment, just a place where you can chat, and I'm just in there, okay? So that's kind of what I want it to be. I don't want it to be a situation where I would say, oh, let me tell you what we're talking about today, guys. Exhausting, you know? Sometimes I just want to be part of it. So there's the link. You guys are welcome to join the group on WhatsApp. Feel free to check out the links in the description if you're interested in my courses. If you have lots of free time and you want to learn English, sort of long-form English, they're on sale, I believe, maybe now. And so you can check out the links there. Also, make sure you hit the like button, guys. I would really appreciate it if you could hit the like button and also subscribe. That also is very useful. Very much appreciated if you hit the like button. Feel free to check out the links in the description. Got the chat open here. My courses. Let me send this into the WhatsApp group. Time and you want to learn English, sort of long form. All right, hey, we got 2 new members already. Cool. I've got the chat open too. So with the WhatsApp chat, the Skype chat, everything's open at the same time. I would really appreciate it if you could hit the like button. I'm able to still get my sentences out. Subscribe. That also is that free or not? Yeah, it's free. Hey, do you know how to charge money on WhatsApp? Got the chat open. You've just given me a great idea. Let me send this into the maybe. Wonderful. Can we make money on it? That's a good question. No, of course it's free. Cool. I've got the chat open. Of course it's free. Even if I knew how to make it not free. Everything's open at the same time. And it's not, it's not a big deal. It's just a chat group. Rolfie's here. Hey, Rolfie. Rolfie has opinions about stuff. I hope you guys have questions ready today. I want to try something a little different if anyone wants to. If you don't want to, whatever, that's fine. I don't care. I can talk about anything forever. I can answer questions. That's a good question. Of course. I always have something to say, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing or whatever. If I knew how to make it not free. But I want to try something just because we're hanging out here. If anyone wants to do a call-in, I would be interested in that. Something's wrong with my sound? Really? I want to try something a little different. Let me check it. Let me check my sound quality. If you don't want to, whatever, that's fine. I don't care. What's wrong with it? I can talk about anything forever. Let me listen to it. Sounds okay on my end. I always have something to say. Sounds okay whether it's here. A good thing or a bad thing or whatever. The system audio's on. But let me mute the system audio. Is that better? Is that better? Okay, let me check my own sound here. Okay. Yeah, you're right. It was echoing. Let me turn it up a little bit. Hold on, guys. Give me a sec. Gotta figure out the sound. We don't want to have sound disaster. Bad news. We don't want to have that. Good. All right, fixed it. I think. Yeah. Cool. Test 1, test 2. No, it is echoing. Oh, good. All right. We got it. Cool. All right. Sorry about the echo, guys. I don't know what happened. My settings were a little goofy. I have fixed it. Because I have a lot of windows open at the same time. Got the WhatsApp window open and Skype and all that stuff. If there's anything going on, if there's anything weird happening with the sound, just send me a message. Just put it in the comments, and I will fix it if I can. Okay. Hope that wasn't going on from the very beginning of the class. Jeez, scary. So if you didn't catch what I was saying earlier, basically, we've got the WhatsApp group now happening that you can join. I posted the link in before. I'll post it in a few more times throughout the class. You can join that. It's just a free talk place. People want to talk and chat in English. Those who don't have the sort of environment to do that, that's the place to do it. Like button. Also, don't forget to hit that. Very important to hit the like button. Subscribe, of course. Check out the courses. All that stuff. If any of you are interested in doing an actual live conversation with me while we do this, it would be very interesting. It's something I want to try, and we can just see how it goes. So if anybody would like to just have a short sort of chat back and forth, introduce yourself, or at least talk to me, and I can ask you a few questions. Many of us are staying inside. Many of us are staying indoors, so we can at least talk about that. Let me know. You have to have Skype, okay? And then I can add you to the conversation, and you can be live with me, beside me, if you want to, okay? If you want. Just for a short conversation. I think that would be fun and interesting to try. So if you want to do it, let me know in the comments. I need your email address. I would recommend maybe sending it to me as a private message in WhatsApp, if you don't want your email address to be out in the open on the comments, or you can put it there. I mean, whatever. And we can do that. That's optional, up to you if you'd like to. I think it would be cool. If not, I will just be answering questions such as Sleepwalkers here, which is Luke. Franco, you want to try it? All right, you gotta set up Skype, gotta have Skype ready, and you gotta be on Skype, and you got to send me your email on WhatsApp. That's what you gotta do. Luke, how good are you at Chinese? Have you been learning it? So, I would say that my Chinese is obviously not as good as I would like it to be. I'm sure everyone's second language is not as good as they would like it to be, right? I don't work on it nearly as much as I should. It's one of those things that I'm not that focused on. My wife is Chinese, so we use limited Chinese at home for different things, and we, chat about stuff basically here and there. It's kind of a mix. Home language has got a mix of Chinese and English. I would say that my maybe pronunciation is a little bit better than my vocabulary. My vocabulary is more limited than my pronunciation is, and I would say that my ability to understand more, complex topics, if someone were talking to me about politics in Chinese or science, something like that, I would certainly be a bit lost, frankly. So that to give you a sense of what my level is. Probably, and I never really studied Chinese that seriously. I just moved there, and when I moved to China, I just went there. I didn't know any Chinese. I didn't know a single word of Chinese when I arrived in China, not even one word. So I was learning basically from people around me, asking questions, having people teach me. I remember on the second day, this is kind of a funny story. Well, it's not funny, but it's a story. On the second day after I arrived in China, I'd never been to China before. I didn't even know ni hao, which is hello in Chinese. I knew nothing. And I arrived. I had a job as an English teacher at a center. Had never taught English before in my life. I was 21 years old, 21 or 22. And the city I arrived in was called, still is called, Tianjin. right? So Tianjin is a very interesting city to live, maybe a little less interesting to visit, but a good city to live, good food, all of that stuff. And I didn't know anything, and so I had to spend a lot of my time by myself figuring stuff out. I learned to count. I learned how to count in Chinese, not from the internet, not from searching things online, but from people on the street showing me things one by one. So I would just have people, I would walk up to someone and I would show them an apple, and I would do this, an apple and this. This was by the way, I wasn't stressed about this. It wasn't a situation where I was like, oh my God, no, I don't know the language. I don't know anything. I'm so scared. It was like, ha ha ha, I'm going to figure out the language from talking to people. This is exciting. So I would go up to people and do, for example, this. And I would just use body language to get them to try to tell me what I wanted. And they would say, 一个. Slowly, okay, you learn. Okay, so this is the one. And then if you have a thing like an apple, then you're going to add a ge to it. And because then I would hear, for example, 三个. Okay, so ge is the constant thing. It's the thing that's being used to count it, right? Got that. Now, the thing that's changing here is that I have 1 or 3. So that must mean that, okay, so then you sort of slowly start to figure it out and pick it out over time. And I'm not saying my Chinese is great, but that was a very interesting process. And then you learn things like, I remember very early, I think it was in the first week, I had to figure out that sometimes 2 is R, and sometimes 2 is 两个. Like 两个 is 2 things, right? So figuring that out, like, wait a second, sometimes 2 is this word, and sometimes 2 is that word. Huh. So if you're counting the amount of things, but if it's the floor of a building, then you wouldn't say 2楼, you'd say 2楼, second floor. Okay, so figuring all this stuff out at the very beginning was so interesting and so exciting. But I never or rarely ever sat down and said, all right, now it's time for me to study a vocabulary list. I learned everything that I learned, even if it was limited, as a baby learns. Just listening, practicing, imitating. And I mean, my pronunciation's not great. My vocabulary is not great still, but that process of learning like a baby from the environment, listening, figuring things out, trying to copy and imitate, it's a fascinating process. If you ever have the chance to do that, it's fun. But because of that, basically, my Chinese writing is non-existent. So because I never very seriously would sit down and study Chinese, it was all just sort of listening, trying to communicate. But still a lot of fun. And if you're learning a language, I think it's good to have that piece of it there. Now, if you're seriously learning a language, I never really set out to learn or master Chinese as a language. It just happened to be that I was living there and, well, you got to know some Chinese. That's a fact. So if you're setting out to master, for example, English, you have to have that component there, that baby component where you're just trying to figure things out. You're asking questions. You're not afraid. You jump into situations. You try to imitate. You learn words that you don't know how to say in your language. There's so many Chinese dishes, for example, like jianbing. I don't know how to say that in English. I don't know. But it doesn't matter because it's a Chinese thing. So I only need to know how to say it in Chinese. And that's fine. Why do you need to know how to say that in your language? There's a tendency among language learners to say, all right, let me learn all of the words I need to learn in my language. With a list, sitting down. That's fine. That's good. I'm not discouraging people from sitting down and studying words and making sentences and learning how to write. All good. But if you have that piece of it where you're jumping into situations and sort of not afraid of looking like an idiot, and you're trying to learn things as people really use them in daily life, that's a very important component, especially when you're developing your spoken language skills. And again, I'm no expert, but that's my experience, and that was a great experience for me. I will always value that experience for sure. So I'm not saying that should be your only style, but that should be it should be part. It should be part. By the way, guys, don't forget to hit the like button. Yeah? Hit the like button, please. Well, it's not exactly pancake. So here's an interesting thing. So like jimbing is this very thin, sometimes soft, sometimes crispy, depending on if it's northern style or Shandong style. There's different styles. And it is kind of like a crepe, French crepe, or you could call it a pancake. But then there are other things that are more like pancakes in China. There are these balls that are basically pancake batter made into balls with red bean inside. That's more like a pancake in the way that it tastes. Okay, so is that a pancake? Or there's a scallion cake. It's made of onions, right? And it has onions mixed in, and it's delicious, and it looks kind of like a pancake. So what is a pancake exactly? I'm not very confident in the translations for example, jimbing. How do you translate that exactly? I've heard it translated as crunchy pancake. I've heard it translated as all kinds of different things, and I think all of them are weird. I started learning Spanish, and I would like to tell you, Franco, it's quite easy to learn. Well, Spanish is interesting. Spanish and French have the shared grammar structure, right? The boot thing, which makes it easier. The English grammar part is difficult. It's hard. English grammar at a deep level is very complicated. Past participles and all of that stuff is super duper complicated. Especially hard to teach. My God, I'm working on this full. Thank you, Dinesh. I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me. I'm glad you said it. Hey, Karina. Guys, so I see more people are coming in. I appreciate that. Thanks, everybody, for hitting the like button as you come in and subscribing, all that stuff. I'm going to answer more questions, but I do want to just mention a couple things. I want to try a live conversation with somebody, okay? This is the plan. So if you're interested, you have to message me in the WhatsApp group because I need to get your email to add you to Skype. So you need to have access to Skype, and we'll do a live call. I want to do a live call with some people. I don't know why, just because I want to. And we'll just talk a little bit. I want to ask you about your situation with the virus thing that's going on, and we could just chat about that stuff. So if anyone is interested, again, I will put the link in. Join the WhatsApp group and send me your email. Send me your email, and we can do it. We'll chat for a few minutes. Okay? I need your email, and you have to have Skype. Very important to have Skype. You must have Skype. All right. Someone said we could do a group call. We have several people. I think I can add up to 5 or 6 people. That might be interesting to do for a little while. The WhatsApp group, all you need to know is just add the link. Add the WhatsApp link, and I'm in the group. I'm one of the members of the group. Can you create a group on HelloTalk? I could, but I couldn't put it up here as a live stream. So that's the thing. But I can with Skype. If we do Skype, I can actually pop it up here, and everyone can watch. It'll be live. I don't know what's going to happen. It could be a horrible disaster. But that'll be fun too, right? I'm going to take a sip of my milk tea. Oh my God, I spilled it all over myself. Crap. I'm an idiot. I can't even drink liquids. It's all right. It's good. This is milk tea. So this is an awesome thing. There is a service called Yummy Wong, and you can buy Chinese snacks on the internet in America. I live in New York, and you can get everything. I even got the skin of the jimbing. You can order it. It's great. Awesome. Okay, Samura. Okay, we got a couple people for the live conversation. We can do several at the same time. Santoro. Okay, we're gonna do it in a few minutes, guys. Uh-oh. Looks like we have someone who shouldn't be in the chat. Let me ban this person quickly. Hide user on this channel. Good. What's written on the cup? Original flavor milk tea. Yeah. If anybody is mentioning rating or things like that, I'm going to ban you guys because we can't have nonsense on the channel, okay? We don't want to have that. I will immediately ban you if you mention anything about gaming or raids. Got it? Got it, got it? You'll be banned forever. Okay, I have some people. I'm going to add these guys to the call. While I do that, there was a question about the difference between speak and say. So I will answer that question as I add people to the Skype group. Ooh, guys, you know what I can do? We can do a meet now thing. Wait a second. Hold on. I'm not a professional on Skype. Hold on, guys. I figured this out. New group. English chat. And then I think I have to add you guys first. Okay. So the difference between speak and say, we use the word say when we want to actually say the thing that came out of the person's mouth, right? I said, and then we're focusing on the actual words. So when we say the word say, we're focusing on the content of the words, the meaning of the words, okay? And when we use speak, we're talking about the action of producing sounds with the mouth. When we use the word speak, we're talking about the action of opening our mouths and making noises. So we often use speak when we're talking about the event that happened, right? The thing that happened, and or maybe the general situation, right? We use say when we want to focus on the meaning of the words, when we want to analyze the meaning of the words. I spoke for 10 minutes yesterday. This is the activity, the thing that I'm doing, the kind of ongoing thing. Okay, what did you say when you were speaking? Oh, well, I spoke about what it's like to live in isolation, or whatever I happen to be speaking about, my content. Well, we got a lot of people here, guys. I don't know if we can get everybody in the chat. First of all, I'm trying to figure out how to add people. That's what I'm trying to figure out how to do. Oh, I think I can do this. English chat. All right, and then I'm calling it English chat, and then I'm going to share a link to the group, add people. Okay, guys, I'm posting this in the WhatsApp group. There is a link going into the group. And then I think there is a limit, so I don't think we'll be able to add everybody, so we'll try to go by order, okay? So there you are, guys in the group. That's the link. And we'll see how it goes. Heavy Design says, hey there, dude. Could you recommend which way is better for learning new words, reading or watching videos? Well, I would say for learning new words, it depends on your learning style. Ask yourself when you're watching videos or when you're reading, which one allows you to remember them better, not only remember them better, but also begin to use them. One of the problems that people have with learning words is they don't understand themselves well enough. They aren't able to recognize whether reading and writing and repetition is better for them than, for example, the Mind Palace method. If you haven't seen that video, you can subscribe to the Clips channel that I usually use to take out highlights from these live streams. The Mind Palace method works for some people. The memorization repetition works for some people. Flashcards works for some people. There's the Anki method that works for some people. There is the method of learning by conversation and learning through interaction. If you have that opportunity, for example, in the workplace, that works for some people. It really just depends what is best for you, what works for you. Okay, so I can't say which one is best because we all have a different sort of brain. We all have a different structure in our heads, and some things are great for me and bad for you, great for you and bad for me. I like the Mind Palace method when I want to remember something because I love making things. I love creating things. Again, if you haven't seen it, check out that in the archive of the channel. You can see how to do that. There's a method. But the Anki method is great for people who like to learn things quickly and feel like they can still use words even though they're memorizing things very quickly. So it depends. I would recommend, though, anytime you learn words, if you can, you want to learn words in the language that you're using or trying to use more. So if you're learning English and you have the chance to use a dictionary like the free dictionary, or to use a dictionary like vocabulary.com, then you can basically figure out from context, how is this word used, how should it be used, and how can I use it? Then perhaps make your own examples. Then once you make your own examples, you can begin to feel how it's used in daily situations. Then after you've made some examples and you feel comfortable with it, maybe you're having a conversation. You can pop it in there. This is part of the process of learning and using words. And it's the same for me. I learn English words all the time. I still learn English words. So it's an ongoing thing for all of us, and each of us has to just sort of figure out what's best for us and try to learn in the language if we can. And also, very importantly, I think very, very importantly, focus on context. What is context? Because you might learn a word and it's not used, it's not common, right? So that's very important. All right, hopefully that helps. All right, let's try this. Guys, I will start the call, okay? I will start the call. I will start the call. Not you guys. I have to keep a handle on it, okay? What English word did I learn recently? I learned the word bailiwick recently. Bailiwick. Someone was trying to call. Some people hit the thumbs down button if I don't answer. What kind of self-centered world are you living in? I don't get it. All right, we're going to try this out, guys. We're going to see how it goes. If it turns out to be a disaster, I'll kill it. Guys, don't... Okay. One sec. I'm going to end the... Okay, here we go. You have to, whoever has started that call, you have to end it because the call has to be initiated by me. Yeah, Azad World. Yeah, I'm not going to add you to the call, dude, because you're trying to take control. Sorry. And then because... I didn't start the call when I was trying to explain something, you hit the thumbs down on the live stream. Sorry, dude. That's not cool. Can you guys please be cool? Please be cool. Please be cool. Don't be weird. Azad, can you close the call, please? I started this group chat. I have to actually be the one to initiate the call. How do I manage this group? Sorry, guys. I'm pretty new to Skype. What year do I teach? I started teaching in 2011. 2011. And I've been teaching since then. I started teaching at a language center. And okay. Nope. All right. Let's see how it goes. I'm going to add, if you guys are in the group, I'm going to add Abby and Luba. We're going to start the call here. Okay. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. All right, now how do I add this on Skype? Give me a second, guys. Bring the group. Okay. All right. You guys have just audio on?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you. I can hear you. Guys, turn your video on. I don't want to be the only idiot with my... Hey! There's somebody.
Hello.
Let me figure out how to add everybody. Give me a second. Hello. What's your name?
Hi. My name is Abby.
Hi, Abby. How are you?
I'm fine.
I'm just trying to figure out how to add some other people here. Who else is here, guys? Say hi if you're here, and I can add you.
I'm here.
Who's there? WHY?
Yep.
Can you
I'm Wayne.
Can you hit your video as well? That'd be okay.
It's midnight over here, so
So what? So what?
yeah, I can't turn the lights on because my grandmother's sleeping right now.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
I guess that's
Sorry.
okay. And I think we had Luba as well. So, Abby, where are you located right now?
I'm in Macau.
You're in Macau?
That's in China.
Okay. Are you?
Yeah, it's
Are you? Hey, Luba's here. Hi. You're on. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm here.
So let's just say
Thank you for such a great idea.
I don't know if it's a great idea yet. So far, at the beginning, we had a little chaos. Somebody else hijacked the group and was taking over. But I think we're okay now. So let's say everybody where you are.
Hello, everyone.
So I'm in New York. Abby's in Macau. Where are you right now, Luba? Am I saying your name correctly? You told me before, but I just want to make sure it's right. Luba, am I saying your name right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
My name is Luba.
Okay, and where are you located now? Which city are you in? Which city are you in?
I live close to Moscow.
Okay.
I live in Noginsk region.
Okay. And sorry, what's your name on the call? The other guy on the call is
Wayne. It's Wayne.
Wayne. Okay. I see.
Yeah.
WYE. Okay. Wayne, where are you?
I'm in Malaysia.
Malaysia. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we
Do
got
you know where
a
is
pretty
it?
good mix here. Yeah, of course. Actually,
Right.
I've been there before. I went to where was I in Malaysia?
Is that a capital city?
Well, I was there for a short time, and then I went to Malacca.
Malacca. Oh, cool.
Yeah, which I really liked. Okay, so Abby disappeared. Where's Abby? Now we have a bunch of blue screens and me. This is weird.
I'm just fix my hair.
Oh, you're fixing your hair. Okay, so let's just talk a little bit about kind of the situation. Maybe you guys can share your own experiences of the situation. I'm basically, I don't know if you've been watching the news, but I have been essentially in my house for the last 5 days and have only left to go to the supermarket. If you look out on the street, it's usually pretty busy, but now it's pretty quiet because everybody is being told to stay home, to not go out, to try not to touch stuff. And right now, it seems like New York is kind of the center of this big problem. What about you, Abby?
I'm stay at home for a lot.
Who's
From the end of the school, I stay at home.
Oh, okay. Do you have to stay at home?
No, I stay for twice a week.
Twice a week? Oh, okay. So you're not being asked by the government or anything to stay home. You're just staying home because you're just staying home.
Because my parents don't let me go anywhere.
Ah, okay. So it's your parents who won't let you. But what's on the news? Are you guys allowed to go out? Are you guys allowed to go out?
It's
No,
basically
not
the
really.
same here in Malaysia. We are not allowed to go out.
Who says you're not allowed to go out? Is your
The
parents
government.
or? Okay. Okay.
Government, yeah.
Is everybody wearing masks?
Yes. One of the family member can allowed to go to the grocery shopping, but we must wear a mask.
Oh,
Or
okay.
else we'll be fined by the police.
You wait. So if you don't wear a mask, you'll be fined by
Yeah.
the police.
Yes.
That is crazy. That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
How much is the fine?
10K ringgit Malaysia.
Can you convert that for me into dollars? I'm afraid I don't know
Um,
how much that is.
that's around 2.5K dollar.
$2,500?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a pretty steep fine. Okay. Is it the same in Macau, Abby?
Yes.
Yeah. We don't allow to go by the bus
Okay.
if you don't wear the mask.
What about you, Luba? What's the situation there near Moscow?
I think we have about 300 cases of coronavirus. I work remotely from home, but I was not told to stay home. It is our company who cares of us. So I work from home, but we don't have to stay home now. They just recommend us. Government recommended us to stay home. So we don't have many cases, but schools are closed and universities are closed here in Russia.
So what
I
about
think yeah.
businesses? Are businesses closed? For example,
No, nothing closed. Only schools and universities and kindergartens too.
Okay. Schools, kindergartens, but all the businesses are open.
Yes, I think so. Yes.
So here right now it's much more serious. For example, the liquor stores, a lot of the stores, like the gift shops and anything that's considered non-essential, maybe hair salons, maybe nail salons, all of those are closed right now. So sometimes I like to drink some gin or some red wine. We had to get a bunch of bottles of that just because we don't know how long they're going to be closed. And we have a lot of supplies here too. But the government has ordered all of those stores to be closed. And I went to the store to buy some wine, and the man at the liquor store who was working there, he was almost crying. I said, "What's wrong?" He said, "Oh, they're going to close. We're going to close. I will make no money." It was very sad. It was very sad. I know I'm smiling. I wasn't smiling at that time, but he was very, very sad and crying about losing the business. So, yeah.
But wasn't the government helping?
Well, that's a very good question. I think right now they're trying to figure out. I don't know what. Okay, so here's a question. What do you guys think? Either Abby or Wayne or Luba, anyone can say. What do you guys think is the best thing for the government to do to help either people who work at airlines who lose their jobs, or, for example, people who work at train stations or movie theaters, or businesses, for example, a barber shop or something like that? What's the best thing to do to help those people? Should the government be sending them money? Should they say, well, just try to deal with it? What do you guys think? Anyone can say their opinion. Yeah, Wayne.
Let me think.
All right, you can think about it. Let's see if anybody has.
Hi.
Yeah. Who's there?
So this is Azad Negi from
Azad.
India.
Okay, you're the guy who hijacked the chat. You're the guy who started the call. That is not cool, by the way, okay? Just so you know. Please be good.
No, I'm so sorry. Actually, I was not aware,
Yeah. Okay. Go
and
ahead.
I
What do you?
sincerely apologize.
No, it's okay. By the way, could you just can you tell us what's going on in India, and
So in yeah,
also tell us, I mean, what do you think the government should do to what
yeah.
should we do?
So in India, there are almost 300, over 350 cases has been reported, and there are 3 or 4 casualty already happened. And most of the states in India, we have over 30 states,
Hmm.
and most of the states has been, I mean, locked down. Since I'm living in Delhi, this is the capital of India,
Yeah,
Delhi.
I've been there.
And Delhi,
Awesome place.
yes,
New Delhi,
okay,
right?
good. Yeah, New Delhi. So Delhi Chief Minister, we have a Chief Minister in Delhi
Yeah.
who rules the Delhi government. So he has already advised today that the city will be locked down until 31st of March. Because as we know that in India we are not developed country like Italy or US or any other country, and even China is far more developed. If I compare with China, China is far more developed than India, and we have very little resources in terms of medical health facilities. So if the situation will be, I mean, rising up, so we will not be able to cope up with this situation. So first, what our government has done today, we have locked down the whole city as of now, most of the cities in
Yeah.
India, and the food supply, the milk supply, and the vegetable supply will be remain continue
Okay.
there,
So
and
even though there aren't as many cases as other countries, they're being very safe with it. That's good. Um,
yeah, as of now we are safe, but I don't think that, I mean, if we will not take the precautionary steps, the situation will be far more dangerous from Italy or any other country.
Well, I mean, if you look, I don't think so. You said something about development. I personally don't think that development is a
If
major
we will not
factor
take
in this situation. I think the major factor in the situation
in this,
is how quickly people are following the rules, how quickly people are responding and listening to what they're supposed to do. And I think,
totally,
I mean, look at Italy has a very advanced medical
yeah,
system. They have a very advanced hospital system,
they
and
come second.
it's a disaster in Italy. People, it's quite tragic. So yeah, and here in New York City, I mean, New York City, pretty developed city. We have I don't know what the current count is in New York City, but I think it's over 12,000 cases in New York City. Maybe it's 4,000 or 12,000. It's a lot. It's many thousands of cases. So it's pretty crazy. Abby or Luba, do you guys have any thoughts about what would be maybe some good actions to take? For example, people who the government is not sending money. Is that a good idea? What do you think? What's your opinion about that?
Our city, our government saying is $3,000 for eating, for somewhere. What do you want to buy? Wherever you want to buy some clothes or. But
So, Abby, are they sending that to every person, every family? How's that happening? And is that working pretty well?
yes, every person in Macau. If you have a ID card in Macau, you have $3,000. Yeah, but
Okay, that's pretty good. 3,000 Hong Kong dollars.
Macau dollars.
Okay, okay.
But you just only can um can spend $300 in each day.
Oh,
So
okay. Abby, I'm sorry. You're
on.
hold on a sec. You guys, your sound is getting a little broken up. I think we might have now too many joining on the call. The sound is a little bit broken up. Hold on 1 second. I think just because we have to limit the people on the call to 5. Let's see. Yeah, so I want to just give the right numbers. I said before I wasn't sure if it was 4 or 10. So it looks like, according to, this is NBC, it looks like in New York there are now more than 10,000 cases in New York State. So that's a lot. And New York City has 6,211 cases. 6,211 cases in New York City. But of course, the real numbers are probably much bigger because you only know what you can test. And right now the situation is they're talking about something like what Abby said. Abby was talking about how everybody got $3,000. She lives in Macau. Everyone's getting $3,000 for supplies and basics. Right now, the government is talking about doing something like that, where every person will get something like $2,000 a month. That's what they're talking about. Guys, I think we're having some difficulties with the call just because there are so many people in the call. So I'm gonna have to limit the number of people because it's causing the sound to be a little choppy and jumpy. And if the sound is choppy and jumpy, then the whole thing we can't do it. So the people who have just come in, I'm sorry guys, I'm gonna have to ask you to hop out for now, just because I want to make sure everyone who's here has a chance to talk. Let's see. Yeah, it's kind of broken up. I don't know if it's my internet or what, but it's a bit choppy. Yeah, sorry guys. This mic, I think it's just the volume. It's pretty broken. I think I'm gonna have to end it, guys. We can try this another time, but for whatever reason, I guess I need to practice my Skype skills. It's just very choppy, and I think it's maybe a little distracting. Thanks, guys. I appreciate everybody sharing their views. We'll definitely try this again in the future. This was kind of a test, but yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for chiming in, everybody. Yeah. I do want to do this in the future. Maybe we'll do it in a little bit more organized way. Maybe we can do some tests in the WhatsApp group.
I connect late.
Yeah.
I connect too late.
Yeah, a little bit late. Actually, we're just having some internet issues. I don't know if it's my issue, but it seems like there's a bit of choppiness and lag. And just for people watching, I got to figure out what is the limit to set for people. So.
Sure.
We can do it next time, guys. Stay tuned.
No
Stay in the group. Sure. Thanks for joining.
Okay. No problem.
Cool. With Skype calls, especially group calls, so it was kind of just an experiment. Is it? Oh, the video. Maybe it is my issue. Ooh, I hope not. Let me open my door. Maybe that'll help because my internet maybe it's me. Maybe it's not you guys. Maybe it's not Skype. Maybe it's just my stupid internet. Hold on. Open the door. Yeah, sorry if you guys missed it. It's just a test, okay? Just a test. We'll do more in the future. I think it was interesting, but we have to do it in an organized way, like this week, who's going to be on the call? This person, and this person. 3 people. Okay, nobody else can join the call, just 3 people. We're going to talk about this for 20 minutes, and then that's it. I mean, that could be really cool. It could be a very interesting way to discuss something, and share it with others. It could be very cool. But we have to organize it. It has to be a little bit structured, I think. So, sorry if some of you who joined didn't get to talk. I'm sorry about that. Next time. But you can join the WhatsApp group. That's where I will keep everybody up to date, and that's where we can discuss, what we're going to do in the future. WhatsApp group. The purpose of that WhatsApp group, by the way, is just an English environment. I hope it can be sort of just a relaxed English place where people can talk and chat and kind of hang out in English, using English only, and it should be fun. That'll be an interesting one, a gameplay one, N64 gameplay. I don't know how to hook that up to the live stream, though. Okay, the video's fine now. That's good. I guess opening my door actually worked. Yeah, so this is just what's reported now. Today is March 22nd. It is 2:55 p.m., and the current cases stand at 6,211 for New York City, which is 1,800 more than yesterday. So that is a big jump up, obviously. Yeah. Luke, thanks for creating the WhatsApp group. You're welcome. It's my pleasure. Yeah, guys, feel free to join. Again, I don't really see myself as the leader of that group. And I hope we can just have a nice sort of environment there where everyone can chat in English and share things and talk, and I can just become part of the conversation. Yeah, you can practice writing in the WhatsApp group if you have something to share. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Totally. The Microsoft team, you can make a big group call. Oh, I thought you meant call Microsoft and complain about the Microsoft Teams. Oh, I see. I don't have Microsoft Teams, though. The thing is, I have to use Skype because Skype is the only one that works with the software that I use to stream this to Facebook. So that's the reason. Anyway, thanks to those who joined, Luba and Wayne and Azad, and also who else do we have? Abby. Also Abby. The simulation situation is under control here. Everything is going fine. There are more. We don't know where you are, though, lazy kid. There are more people in the chat today. Maybe it's because of the time you choose. Yes, perhaps. Maybe if this is a good time. Or it could be just because more people want to stay home and don't have other things to do, and so they feel bored, so they join, which is fine with me. So when I do calls with my team, I often use Google Hangouts, which is cool. But again, it's not so easy to stream Google Hangouts. I know Google Hangouts is great, but it's not so easy to stream Google Hangouts. Got to remember there are two pieces here. One piece is group call. The second piece is group call plus live stream. You have to go directly to live stream. So those two things have to work together, and it's not super easy to do. So, yeah. Okay. Let's see if I missed any questions. I want to answer any questions I might have missed earlier. Guys, this is kind of an English language live stream, so if you have questions, if I didn't answer them, post them again. When we were talking, I wasn't watching them carefully, so I'm happy to answer any culture questions, English questions, pronunciation questions, whatever questions you might have. In the chat, in the particularly the YouTube chat, that would be great. If you haven't already, guys, make sure you hit like. I would really appreciate that. And to the person who hit unlike, and subscribe, of course. And also, I have courses in the description. You can check out my links in the description if you want to take full courses. Okay, scrolling up to see if I missed any questions. Seems like I have a lot of scrolling up to do. So, dude, could I contact with you if I have any significant questions? Absolutely. You guys are welcome to message me on WhatsApp or on the Facebook group or in the WhatsApp group or wherever if you have any English questions. But editing your writing is not an English question. Okay? Just to be clear, I don't edit people's writing because I'm a teacher, not an editor. All right? That's not a question. That's a part-time job. Hey, Lolly Lolly's here. Hey, Lolly Lolly, you missed it. We did a Skype call. Hamang Shu, I'm just asking, am I visible? You're visible in the chat. Is that what you mean? Or do you mean, generally speaking, visible as a human being? That I can't answer. You might be in, I have no idea. You may live on the internet for all I know. There are a large number of people you can add on the WA group. I think Telegram is better. Yeah, I've heard about Telegram too. I've used it once, but didn't like the interface. Maybe I should try it again. Gertie says, it is important that the government must guarantee to people the essential stuff, food, medicine, for now. The big problem will be coming soon. The problem is, I would say, how do you get food and medicine to people? That's a tough one, right? Because if you have food and medicine, the distribution of the food and the medicine is a challenge, a major challenge. And I think for that reason, the best thing to do is just give people money. And if the people really need stuff, they will use the money to buy food and medicine. But they might need other stuff too. So I think let people choose what they want to buy. I think the government should be sending out, especially people who have lost their jobs, sending out money to them. Just give people money. Send out a check to people's bank accounts. $2,000 a month sounds about right to me. Every adult gets $2,000 a month. They can buy the basics. That is enough to live for most people. Not for everybody, but for most people. And I think it would help to solve a lot of problems that will be coming up in the next weeks and months. Because in America, many people don't have savings. For example, this happened in China, right? But in China, this was not necessary because most Chinese people save money. That's a virtue in China, is saving. And when people buy a house, not always, but many times they will just buy the house because they saved the money to buy it. Well, it's kind of the same thing in a lot of other countries, but not in America. In America, people are often living right on the edge. They have major credit card debt. They have a car loan, a student loan, all of that stuff. And so they can't afford an unexpected $500 bill. This is much worse than an unexpected $500 bill. One day you're working at a check-in counter at the airline. The next day, you spill milk tea all over yourself and have to clean it up. Hey, Mushroom, do you think you could get me a paper towel? I spilled some milk tea on my table. Why am I using the microphone? She's not on this. Hey, Mushroom, can you bring me a couple paper towels? Thank you. I accidentally knocked this over, and I got some chunks on my pants. Is it on the table? Okay, that should be good. Thank you so much, my dear. All right, I got it cleaned up, mostly. Too bad you guys didn't see that. So embarrassing. So yeah, anyway, a lot of people can't handle unexpected bills, and so that will be a problem if they can't pay their rent and they can't buy food. I'm literally worried about people rioting in the streets, robbing people, breaking into people's homes because they're desperate. That's what I'm worried about. It's the same in Russia. People don't have savings. Yeah, I think it's something like 40% of Americans don't have any serious savings. So that's a problem. That's pretty serious. French are not disciplined either. Yeah, many parts of the world is kind of a lack of discipline. Crisis is not only poses a threat to people's lives, says DP, but also brings huge damage to the economy. A lot of people already lost their jobs, and many more are worrying now. Yeah, so many. Someone like Luba, for example, works online and probably doesn't need to worry too much about losing her job because her skills are necessary and are not affected by this kind of situation. But not everybody can just suddenly start working remotely, right? And so some people are lucky and some people are unlucky. And it's a big problem, right? It's a big issue. So I'm pretty worried about it, and I think something's going to happen pretty soon. Okay. Guys, if I missed a question that you posted earlier in the chat, please repost it, and I am happy to answer it. Yuri says, how did you meet Mushroom? That's a good question. I like that one. I'll answer that, and if you guys in the meantime have questions, you can post them in the chat. So, yeah, I hope so too. I hope so too. The world wasn't ready for this. Imagine places like Haiti. Yeah, no doubt about it. Definitely not ready. So the question was from Yuri, how did you meet Mushroom? Now, if you don't know what that means, Mushroom is my wife, and we have been married for 5 years. We've known each other for 6 years. And I think that's right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right. After a few years, you start to forget the exact number. I should really keep track of that. And so I was living in China at the time. I had been living by myself in my little apartment in China, teaching English. Okay? And I had a couple friends, hang out with my friends sometimes, but generally speaking, the life of the average bachelor, you could say. And I didn't date that much, but once in a while. And I was hanging out with my friend one time named Kevin. He was another American living in China. This is in Tianjin, China. And he had met someone who invited him to a Christmas party thing. Okay? He invited me. It was either that or it was the other way, and I got invited to the Christmas party, and I invited him. One way or the other, this Christmas party is very important to the future of both of our lives. Okay? So we went to this party, and there was this girl there who was talking to my friend Kevin. And they were just talking, and she seemed interested in him, and he seemed a little bit interested in her. And so that was happening, and I noticed it, but I was just sort of at the party, hanging out, having a glass of whatever. And then after a few minutes, he said, hey, there's a feature on WeChat where you can shake your phone. He said, I did the shake your phone thing, and there are some other girls over there. I want to go meet them. It's a volleyball team. They're all really tall. So I said, oh, all right, whatever. So we went over to these girls, and there were 6 or 7 girls that were this tall, and I remember very clearly because I was looking up at all of them. Oh, hello, nice to meet you. Hi. All volleyball players, okay? And we talked to them for a while as well. And I didn't think anything of it. We went home. I went home, not we. I mean, Kevin went to his house. I went to my house. We didn't go home with the volleyball players. They carried us home. No, it wasn't like that. So anyway, after a few days, it was around Christmas time, so it would have been after Christmas, I guess, maybe the 27th or the 28th. One of the girls, not the volleyball girls, one of the girls that Kevin had met, the one who had been kind of interested in him, and the one that he was kind of interested in, she invited Kevin to have a drink at a lounge. A lounge is like a fancy bar, but it's quieter than a bar, right? And he said, I want to meet her, but I'm not sure how I feel about her at this moment. And I don't want to do a situation where we're meeting alone. It's a high pressure date situation. So he said, can you come with me? And this is called being a wingman. Being a wingman is sort of the man on the side. And I said, yeah, of course, buddy, Kevin, of course, no problem. I would be happy to go with you. And so I went with Kevin, and we had some nachos, and we arrived first, and we had some drinks, and we met these two girls, not one, because this girl who Kevin was meeting brought her friend. Okay? And she sat across from me, and I thought, this girl looks very familiar to me. In fact, she was familiar because I had seen her once before. I had seen her for about 5 seconds. She had been walking out of some place, and I was walking in with her colleague, and they stopped for a minute to have a chat because I used to teach yoga. and I taught a yoga class with her old colleague. Oh, that's right. She's the lady who invited me to the Christmas party, her colleague. I was her colleague's yoga teacher. Okay, and after one of our yoga classes, we used to do yoga on the rooftop illegally, and we decided to have I think we had dinner. We were buddies, we were friends. She was also one of my English students, and very much a brother sister sort of relationship. And we had stopped at the door because they said hi to each other very quickly, and I said, well, that girl has a weird shirt, and then I didn't think anything of it. Now that girl was sitting across from me. It was the friend of Kevin's date, but he didn't want to call it a date because he wasn't sure exactly how he felt about this girl. And so it was just a conversation. It was a relaxed conversation, and this girl and I ended up just making faces at each other, and she couldn't really speak English. That's why we were just making faces at each other. I could tell that she didn't really care about being there. I didn't really care about being there, and so we ended up just sort of making faces at each other for a while and using a sort of mixed basic Chinese, basic English, because my Chinese was about at her English level. And so after that, we just started texting back and forth, and she, her name was Mushroom, and she and I started having conversations online, started chatting, started doing regular long conversations. I found out later she was getting translation help from her friend because our conversations were in English. So after talking more and more and more, finally the new year came, and we eventually decided that we would get a little bit more serious, and we decided to start dating. I thought, this lady is pretty cool. She likes the things I like. She doesn't seem to be interested in me because of the fact that I'm a foreigner. She doesn't seem to care about that sort of thing, because some girls will, date foreign teachers just because they want to practice their English, right? She didn't seem to care about that stuff. So we started dating, and we decided a good test would be to go somewhere together to see if this is a real relationship or what. So we decided to go to Thailand. We went to Thailand together after dating about a month and a half, or maybe 2 months. We flew to Thailand, and we spent 5 or 6 days together. And we realized that this is we have a good relationship. This is a good relationship. We don't fight. We have common interests, And so after a year of dating, I wanted to leave Tianjin and go to another city. So we decided to do that. But before we did that, we were going to travel, seriously travel. And so I thought this is a perfect chance to see if we're really a good couple, like serious couple, marriage sort of level. I wasn't thinking about that yet, but I wanted to know. Traveling together is a great way to decide that. So we traveled to Malaysia, we traveled to South Africa, Singapore, we traveled to Nepal, and it was several months we spent together. We volunteered, took care of monkeys who had lost their mothers in South Africa. It was a great experience, and we got to know we really got to know each other, because what you have to find out if you're going to date someone, you have to find out if you like each other because you have that cycle of I miss you, oh I see you, and I miss you, and I see you, or if you like to be around each other, if you like to be in the company of the other person, even when it's boring and there's nothing to do. Do you like to be around this person? That's a very important question. Spending time with this person, Mushroom, over this long period of time, I realized my answer to that was yes. And so by the time we reached Nepal, we thought, we've been dating for almost a year now. We really like to be around each other. Maybe it would be simpler if we got married. So we did. And it was a long process, but that's how it happened. That's how we met, and that's how we got married. That's the story. I think it's an interesting story, but maybe it's only interesting because it's my story. I don't know. But the thing that's crazy is we almost didn't meet because that night was a very snowy night and there weren't many taxis on the street. And Kevin and I were on our way to that lounge and waiting for a taxi to get there. And we were about to say, all right, you know what? Forget it. No taxis. The weather's terrible. Let's just go play video games. We were this close to doing that. If we had done that, I never would have met Mushroom. They were about to do the exact same thing, and they got a taxi too, right at the last second. So it turned out okay. So who knows where I would be and what I would be doing if we hadn't met. But that is how it went. And now her English is really good. We speak more English than Chinese. And we have moved to America. She works in an American company, and so it's been a great experience. And now we have 2 cats, and we still like each other, which is very important. That's the story. So I know that's a long answer, but that is what happened. The thing that I think is critical is that you have to know if you like a person. Not like in the sort of romantic way, like. That's not what I mean. You have to know if you like a person as a person to be around. You know how there are some people and you feel after an hour of being around them, you get tired and you can't be around them for 10 minutes more? You have to figure that out before you make any major commitments to someone. I think that's totally, absolutely, extremely important. And I also think that the language stuff is not a problem. Really, it's not. You figure that out over time. I found it to be very interesting. I love the body language stuff, facial expressions. That's my favorite part. So cool. Are your parents cool with this international dating? Yes, totally. My parents love Mushroom quite a bit. And her parents, I think, like me. They think it's important that I take good care of their daughter. And I try my very best to take care of their daughter. Because she's living in a different country. She's not around her parents, right? So I have to take on that responsibility, which I'm happy to do. How do you spell it? Like mushroom? Yes, that's right. That's not her Chinese name, but that is her English name. Mushroom. Harvey Design says, I feel like memorizing is not for me. When I watch a video and come across words many times, occasionally I remember them. And very importantly, when you're watching a video, you see them in context. You don't only see the word, but you see how the word is used in the sentence, which is absolutely important. My parents are in China. No, my parents are not in China. Her parents are in China. My parents are in America. It'd be weird if my parents were in China. That'd be pretty weird. Was love at first sight, yes or no? No, I don't believe in love at first sight. I don't believe in soulmates. People say, oh, there's only one person that's right for you. I don't believe that. I think that's nonsense. I think there are probably a million potential people who are right for you. You just have to find one of them. And I think love at first sight is ridiculous. My opinion. My opinion. Just my opinion. Is it true that 80% of infected can recover without any special medication if they're between 12 and 40 years? I have heard that is true. I've heard that's true. I can't say. I'm not a scientist, so I can't say that for sure. But generally speaking, you have a higher chance of recovery quickly, especially without much medical help, if you're younger. And I've heard of cases where babies who get it have no symptoms whatsoever, zero. Gabe's 3D video said, Gertie, I'm slightly taller than Luke. He only knows that because he's my brother. And it's not true. It's a lie. It's a dirty lie. We're exactly the same height. If not, he comes up to about here on me. Gabe's 3D videos does. About here. He's very short. He's extremely short. Some people are surprised when they see him. Jeez, never seen anybody like that before, is what they say. No, they don't say that. I'm joking about some of it. Gabe's 3D videos, by the way, is his YouTube channel. So if you click on his YouTube channel, he's got some very cool 3D videos that you can check out, especially if you have VR. If you have a VR headset like this one, like this one, you can put your phone in. You can put your phone in there and close it, and you can look around in the video. It's very cool. He has some very cool stuff. So check out Gabe's 3D videos. I don't know. Can I at Gabe's 3D videos in the chat? No, I can't. I can't. Anyway, you guys can subscribe to his channel. It's pretty cool. And by the way, subscribe to my second channel as well. That's where I post clips from the live streams. If you miss a live stream, you want to see the parts of it. For example, today's video that got posted is about Chinese culture. Some things about Chinese culture. So that's what it's about. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Yuri says, Gabe's your brother. Himangshu says, Gabe's your brother. Yes. Yes, Gabe is my brother. That's correct. That is correct. Mushroom has a great personality, so it makes it easier. You're right about that, Rolfie. Mushroom does have a great personality. She's very interesting. Smart, beautiful lady. I totally agree. Just rumors, you know, but who knows? What's rumors, you know, but who knows? Yeah, I mean, I think it's dangerous to say for sure. If for sure you are below the age of 40, you have nothing to worry about. Well, think about this. You can carry it if you're below the age of 40 just fine. So if you get infected and then you meet someone who's older or someone with risk factors, I've heard of people who are 39, 40 dying because they have underlying conditions, what are called underlying conditions, then you are partly responsible for that. I don't know if you've seen this video of these idiot college students who are on the beach around a bunch of other students, probably spreading coronavirus to each other, and they're interviewing them. Well, someone's calling. Not doing a call right now, guys. Someone is interviewing these punks, and they're saying, "Oh yeah, well, I gotta, I don't want to interrupt my spring break. I got a party. It's very important. I can't miss it. It's nuts. It's nuts. It's crazy. I don't know if you guys have seen that video, but it is absolutely crazy. I wonder if I can find it. Let me see if I can find the video. I might be able to play it for you guys. Let me see. Let's see. Kids at the beach. No, those are just kids at the beach. That's the wrong thing to search. Coronavirus spring break. I don't know if you guys have seen this video. This video is totally crazy. Yeah, here we go. Let me play the ad first so you guys don't have to see the ad. I think I can show it. Okay. All right. I'm going to show this video, guys. I'm going to show this video. Let's see if I can switch to... Let me unmute the system sound. And how do I do this? How do I do it? Oh, I can do this. Does that work? Oh, good. All right, there we go. All right, this is too small. I have to make this bigger. You guys ready? Okay. All right, there we go. At least you can see it, right? I'm going to hit play. There's got to be a better way to play videos, I think. Let's try this. Can you guys hear it? System audio, turn on. Can you guys hear that? It's showing me that it's not playing the sound. I'm trying to play the sound. Can you guys hear the sound or not? Let me know. All right, Himangshu, see you later. I got to make sure you guys can hear the sound here. Show current application. Entire screen. I gotta learn this. Yeah, you guys can't hear the sound. Crap! Alright, well, I'm gonna send the link in anyway. I'm gonna share the link. You guys can watch it later. I gotta figure out how to use my own software so that I can show you guys video. I want to be able to sometimes show you guys videos on YouTube and stuff so that we can sort of discuss them together. All of that stuff is stuff I want to do, but first I have to figure out how to do it, you know? That's very important. All right, so I'm going to send the link in to the chat. Sorry. You guys can watch it later. Copy and paste. That's the video there. Anyway, dumb kids who are basically saying, all I want to do is party. I just want to party. And it's the only thing that matters to them. And they will not listen to what they're being told to do, to stay inside, to not spread the virus. And if their grandmas get sick or die, and whose fault is it? You might say it's theirs. It's their own fault. They will have to live with that. I think it's important to follow the rules, especially if scientists say, you know, stay inside, do what you're supposed to do. You gotta be smart. You gotta be very smart. Guys, I would appreciate if you could hit the like button. That would be awesome. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out my courses in the links in the description. And if you haven't already, make sure you join the chat. Join the WhatsApp chat group. I'm going to send the link to that once more. If you haven't already, it's just sort of a free talk English chat environment. You're welcome to join. Please be cool. That's my only rule. Don't be a weirdo. Don't be creepy. Don't be weird. Then it'll be fine. I really don't like to make serious group rules, you know. Excuse me, not writing but cutting. Not sure what you mean by that one. They should think about elderly people. Danish keeps calling on Skype. Sorry, Danish, I'm not doing a call right now. It's kind of weird that you do that. Please stop. Please stop. That's an example of not cool that I mentioned. Okay. I want to do, you know, group calls, more group calls in the future, but not all the time. I want to set up a sort of a structure. Like, okay, today we have in the group call, person number 1, 2, 3, 4. We're all going to talk. Everyone has their video ready to go, and we do it, right? So that's how I think we can do it in the future. I'd really like to do it that way. I love the idea of doing group calls, but I think we need a little bit of structure. Today, we just tested it out a little bit. Did I miss any questions from you guys? Any questions that I might have missed? Oh, Johnny says, what's the difference between the scissors are for writing and the scissors are to write? Ah, okay. Okay, I like this question. Pop it up there. Johnny says, what's the difference between the scissors are for writing and the scissors are to write? Now, normally, we will add the preposition with after write if we use it that way. If we're talking about the purpose of something, the use of something, the function of something, we'll say, that is to write with. That is to write with. These scissors are to write with, or this pen is to write with, is what I should say. These scissors are to cut with, right? These these toys are to play with. We don't say these toys are to play because that grammar is confusing. It will confuse people. Okay, so we add with when we're talking about the purpose of it, when we're talking about the function of it. Okay, add with. The scissors are to cut with. These toys are to play with. This pen is to write with. Now, I also want to say very clearly that that is not the most common way to use it. The most common way to use it is this is for that. And then when we do that one, we're going to use the gerund form. The gerund form is the ing form. ing. That means we're going to use it as a noun. Now, every ing verb is not always a noun. Because sometimes, for example, the continuous tense, I am walking, that is not a gerund, okay? But if we say I like walking, that is a gerund. We're using the ing verb like a noun. If we use for plus an ing verb, we're talking about the purpose of it. That is much more common than saying, for example, this paintbrush is to paint with. Okay, it's not for show, it's not for decoration, it's to paint with. It's more common to say, this paintbrush is for painting. These scissors are for cutting cloth, because you have scissors for different purposes. These scissors are for cutting packages. These scissors are for cutting paper. These scissors are for cutting cloth. These scissors are... You have different scissors, right? Now, sometimes if you really want to make it clear what it's for, you use the adjective form. So the first one we talked about is the least common. The least common is the using with one, right? The least common one is these scissors are for cutting pizza with, or these scissors, the least common is these scissors are to cut pizza with. Okay, that's the least common. The second one would be these scissors are for cutting pizza. These scissors are for cutting pizza. Even better, these are pizza scissors. Now, we can't always do that, but sometimes if something has a clear purpose, we say for plus ing. These scissors are for cutting pizza. These scissors are adjective plus noun. These scissors are pizza scissors, or these are pizza scissors. That's how I would say it. These are pizza scissors. Hopefully that's clear. Okay, so those are the three different ways that we can use expressions to talk about the purpose and the use of something. Note, if we use to, then we use the infinitive, the basic verb form. To cut pizza with, then with after it. If we use for, then we use ing, the gerund form, for cutting pizza. If we use an adjective, we don't need either of those. We just stick it in front of the thing. These are pizza scissors. Hopefully that's clear. And if you're wondering, hey, are pizza scissors a real thing? The answer is yes. They make scissors just for cutting pizza. That is a fact. Guys, again, if you haven't already, make sure you hit like, make sure you subscribe, check out my courses in the links in the description. Okay. That's a good question. I like that question. That's interesting. Very interesting question. Hopefully it's clear now, Johnny. I hope I answered your question clearly. Hey, what's the specialty of your... Lazy Kid says, what's the specialty of your channel? I mean, it's English language learning, but, yeah. It's English language learning, but I wouldn't say I have a specialty. Hey, Luba and Lolly Lolly sent me a super chat. Yay! Luba says, we have 42 participants in the WhatsApp group. I hope we will have more soon. Hey, wow, that's a lot. It almost grew by double in one day. Cool. How did your wife take a job in the USA? What does she do professionally? I'm going to answer that one because I think that's really useful for people coming to America. Yes, and we need the right topic to talk about. Thanks, Luba. I appreciate that. Woohoo! Super chats are make my day. You guys know that, right? I love super chats. Sorry if I'm not answering questions in the WhatsApp group at the moment. There's so many comments coming in. It's great to see it, but I'll get there, guys, after our live class for sure. I'm gonna clean up. I'm starting to smell sort of milky smell, you know, because I spilled milk tea on myself and on the table. Kind of smelling milky. I'm going to have to do some deep cleaning after the live class. Yosh. Ayo. Oh, good. Glad to hear it, Johnny. I'm glad to hear it. Okay. Oh, just checking something here. I get Queens news. I live in Queens, guys. Queens is a borough in New York. And I always get news from Queens. New York goes on pause Saturday night. The problem with this news app is they always post ads in it. I just want the news, guys. Latest, New York City mayor warns worst is still to come. Wow, that's not good. New York City goes on pause Sunday night. Here's what that means. What it means is nobody's allowed to go out. Let's see. What else do we have here? FDA authorizes first rapid point-of-care coronavirus test. That's good. Rapid test, very important. The outbreak causes stores to change policies and some to temporarily close. Costco receipt says returns will not be accepted on toilet paper, paper towels, sanitizing wipes, water, rice, and Lysol. That's interesting. Wow. Okay. Well, we got a lot of news coming in for sure. A lot of news coming in. By the way, if any of you have kids, I'd be very interested in hearing how your kids are doing in terms of going to school. Are they taking video chat classes? Are the teachers making the students go to all of their normal classes? I'm very interested in that as well. I would love to hear from you guys on that. And for the love of God, Dinesh, could you do me a favor and stop calling me on Skype? We're not doing that right now, okay? My goodness gracious. Please be cool, guys. Please be cool. Not that hard. Come on. Okay. Rick Jiang says, how do you pronounce two TH sounds like with and that? Okay. Okay, that's a good question. Very easy to answer that one, but not so easy to do. So, if they're together, separately, it's with. With. Now, some people do say with, and they have the voice under it. It's okay. With. Notice my voice stops just before the TH. My tongue is between my teeth. With. Okay? Very important that the air is allowed to flow out smoothly. If it's whiz, wrong. And then, in fact, someone will misunderstand you if you say that. If you say whiz, wrong. It's a Z sound. Whiz is a word. It's a different word. It has a different meaning. People will misunderstand you. So, very important there to make sure the tongue is in the right position. It's not too narrow. You're not biting your tongue off. You're not squeezing your tongue together and making it tense. You're relaxing the tongue, flat, relaxed. You're letting air flow between your teeth and your tongue. Then when you want to say the TH sound with a voice, the voiced TH sound, then it's th. And if it sounds like this, it's wrong, because it should be a sound that's soft and continuous. It should be able to stretch pretty long. So if you want to test your TH sound, ask yourself, can I do it for 10 seconds? And if I do it for 10 seconds, does it sound smooth? Right? If I say, if I can do that pretty smoothly for 10 seconds, I've probably got that unvoiced TH sound correct. If I say, very balanced sound, if I can do that continuously and I hear the TH, the because if it's just, it's wrong. It's got to have that breathy sound in there, the air moving through the teeth. If I can do that for 10 seconds, you're good, probably. But if it's not there, it's the sound wrong. If it's it's wrong, okay? So you got to use that 10-second test to see if it's smooth. By the way, same goes for the Z sound. If you can say zzz for 10 seconds, you're probably okay. But if you go zzz, 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 not okay. Not okay. So that's a test. Do the 10-second test. Now, if you want to put those two together, with and that, in fact, we do put them together. If we say with that, that's weird. That sounds strange. Instead, we'll say with that, with that. So we'll add the voiced sound to the TH of with. Instead of saying with, we'll say with that, and we'll not let the TH sound go. We'll blend them together. We'll link them together. That, with that, with that, with that. There's a little dip in the voice, but it doesn't stop. I'm not saying with that. It's not a stop. It's a dip. It goes down a little bit. It's a short pause in the frequency, but the voice continues throughout. With that, with that, with that. I don't know what to do with that letter. I don't know what to do with that letter. With that, with that. It sounds much more natural, I hope. And you got to practice it until it's a habit, because if it's not a habit, then when you're speaking about something and you're thinking about what to say and how to say it, you're going to be likely to forget. It has to become a habit, and so you have to practice it again and again and again and 1,000 times. Okay, hopefully that is clear. Guys, again, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, check out the courses in the links in the description. Okay, great question. Of course, are you going to make this chat every day? I'd really like to. I don't know if we can do it every day, but I certainly think we can do it more often than once a week, especially just during the time when most of us are staying at home. As for if I can do it every day, geez, it would be cool. It would be very cool if I could. I'll see what I can do. So I want to do. Rai's got a good question, so I want to answer Rai's question. I want to answer Raigi's question. Yeah, sure. No problem, Alex. No problem. Or sorry, Rick. No problem, Rick. That was Rick's question. Lolly, are you on the WhatsApp group? Lolly, are you not in the WhatsApp group? My God. My God. Got to get in that WhatsApp group, Lolly. It's an emergency. Here's the link again. Those of you who are not in the WhatsApp group, check it out. All right. So Rai's question, if I'm saying your name wrong, I apologize. 1,000 apologies to you. Where is the question? Where is... Oh, here it is. Oh, no. There it isn't. Where is the question I wanted to answer? Where's the question? Hold on. Scrolling. Ah, there it is. Okay. So, Raigi asks, how is your wife, how was to your wife take a job in the U.S.? Let's say it like this. How did your wife get a job in the USA? What does she do professionally? Now, I think the reason this is a good question is because she is from another country, and so it's a good model for how you do this. If you're from another country and you want to get a job in an English-speaking country, what's the process? What are the steps? Now, obviously, you need to do this legally. That means you have to have a green card already, or you have to have a work permit already. If that's the case, then you often have to apply in your country first, get accepted for the position, hired for the position, and then apply for example, working visa or green card. Let's put that aside for a second and assume that you're here or you want to get a job in an English-speaking country and you're curious how to do it. Now, first, you have to know what skill set is relevant now. I can give you an example in my wife's case because I think it is instructive. So she's a designer. She went to school for art-related things. She studied animation. She's worked in design, especially graphic design. And so when she came to the United States, she thought she would look for something in that field, graphic design. Fine. So we went through a process together. I was helping her of applying for jobs, very intensive process when we got to the United States and moved to New York of applying for jobs. And at first, it was really just making sure that she had a very nice, perfect, professional resume, some work that people can look at. This is for a designer. You have to have what's called a portfolio and very strong cover letters. So there are three elements here for the basic sort of entry level, I wouldn't say entry level, lower level design positions. Her first time working in the United States, she had never done design work in the English language world before. New country, right? She's a smart lady. So I wanted to do everything I could, but I knew that she could get a job on her own too. I helped her make the perfect resume. She put all of her past work experience related to design in the resume, and we together worked on making it sound clean, nice, simple, very concise, well organized. You don't want your resume to be too wordy. You don't want your resume to be 10 pages long. 1 page, maybe 2 pages, not longer. Very clean, very simple, perfect punctuation, perfect spelling, very crisp writing. If it doesn't have perfect spelling, perfect punctuation, the employer will see that as, oh, you're not very serious about this. Toss it. Throw it. It's got to be perfect. So we made sure that was perfect first. Now, I asked her to do 2 different resumes. She had one related to sales jobs because she had also worked in sales, and one related to design. She has 2 different skill sets. Do it separately because if you put too many things that are totally unrelated into your resume, you're applying for a job in design, or too many design things in a job related to sales, they feel, how is this relevant? What can I do with this person? I don't know. Throw it in the trash, okay? Maybe shred it. Eat it. Maybe they eat it. I don't know what they do. But that's important. So make several versions of resumes for whatever job you're applying for. As you get higher and higher, this becomes more and more important as you have more and more experience. Next, you have to have, if you're in art or you're in design or anything like that, a portfolio is extremely important. It's a website. You have to keep it up to date. You can put it on Behance or another platform, or you can build your own website. It's better if you build your own website. It's got to be clean. It's got to be well designed. It's got to be easy to use, easy to click on various projects. They need to be able to see the quality of your work. So that's specific to artists, designers, creative people. The portfolio is extremely important to the process. Very important. Next is the cover letter. Now, this is something that's extremely important in American companies. Cover letters are the letter you write that you put in front of the resume, that you send in the email, that is the message, and then under that you put the attachment, which is the resume and the portfolio, or the link to the portfolio. This is the thing that's going to grab their attention. The fact is you have to write a unique one each time. Now, I think my wife was a little bit lucky here in this case because she happens to have a husband who is an English teacher and a pretty good writer. I have, been paid to publish writing. I'm a decent writer, and so I spent a lot of time making her cover letters really good, very professional, to get people to really pay attention. So she got a lot of interviews. A lot of people, they don't get any interviews. She got probably 80% of the interviews she tried for. At least she got an interview there. She got in the door. That's the important thing. So great cover letter, and you can look up how to do cover letters. I'm going to be doing this in a future course. Great, perfect resume, and if you're an artist, great portfolio. And if you can have references, that's good. Now, as you get higher and higher, I think LinkedIn becomes more important. So now, instead of just checking your portfolio, as you reach higher and higher positions in your career field, especially in the English-speaking world, you have to have a LinkedIn profile. It's got to have your experience there. It's got to be up to date. It has to have references from people you know. That is very important. That means people have written things about you and it's posted in your LinkedIn profile. So higher level positions, you've got to have a strong LinkedIn page. And I would say that my wife does have one. After that early job, she worked in that job for a while. She wanted to move into a more specific career. So she moved toward UX rather than just graphic design. The pay is a lot better. And now she works in a much, much better job than she had before. But that learning process in that first job was very important. And the process of learning a new skill that's more specific, UX, user experience design, was interesting for her. She actually quit her job, learned for 4 or 5 months, and then applied for new jobs and got a much, much better one than before. So that's the process for her. That's how you get a job in America. There's a whole process here. I've got a course. I know I've mentioned this kind of thing before. I have a whole course about this, which is how to do a job interview well, how to answer the questions, how to build a resume. You can check that out in the links in the description, Udemy or Skillshare. And it's really important that you are well prepared and very careful and very clear and keep things simple when you're applying for a job. So hopefully that's clear. Make sure you hit the like button, guys. Make sure you subscribe and check out those courses in the links. Okay. Any questions? I hope that answers your question. I like that question, and I think it's really necessary to, you gotta make sure you have that portfolio. Portfolio is so important. People don't take the resume seriously either. I'll just put stuff there. People judge the resume based on how good it is. Gertie says, well, my daughter is a graphic designer too. Animation, lighting, and she's working in Canada. Very cool. Very cool. So your daughter and my wife have something in common. Awesome. Luba says a very useful course. That's good. That's a good praise from Luba. Thank you so much. The key is preparation. Yeah, but I would add one thing. When you go into the interviews, you don't want to memorize your answers. Interviewers don't like memorized answers because if you memorize your answers, it's going to sound fake. People can tell it's memorized. You feel like you're not really answering the question or really communicating with me. If you say, I'm very good at communication. For example, several years ago, I was working with a team and you're not communicating with me. I'm the interviewer. Communicate with me. Hello, I'm right here. So you've got to prepare your ideas, your examples, and think about what you want to share when you do the interview. You don't want to memorize the whole story. Memorize all of the things you're going to say when they ask you certain questions. That's what you don't want to do. So keep that in mind. Don't memorize answers. Memorize ideas for answers, and then just say the answer naturally when you're in the interview. Could you speak at your normal speed once? Because I want to test my hearing skill. Rick, I am speaking at my normal speed. I know that you might not believe that, but that's true. This is my normal speaking speed. If you want to test yourself on not speaking speed, but maybe higher level English, you can check out the podcast. It's not an English language learning podcast. You can check out the podcast in the related channels. I do a podcast with different people, and that is my native English. So it might be not faster, same speed probably, but maybe different because I'll be using a lot of words and phrases that you might not be used to. That would be a test of your English. Check out the podcast. I recommend it. It's super boring. but might be good for your listening. I'm not recommending it to people. I'm interested in it, and that's what matters. It's just about movies. Talk about movies and stuff, bunch of stuff. Alex wants me to answer a question. I don't know what the question is. Let me check. Okay. I'm confused about sources and methods. IDK, what to do. Some people said you have to break the movie into small parts and study every single minute and sentences. This is getting me bored. Others said watch it without pausing and have fun. And about the new vocabulary, your mind will know it unconsciously. First of all, Alex, that is not a question. That is your situation. You've described your situation. So I will make a question for you. What's up? What's that? What is that? Okay, does it smell like milk tea in here? Look at the floor. Look what I did.
Can you pause and clean up?
I can't, no. What flavor is this? Abalone. I don't really like abalone. Are there any other flavors?
Yeah.
What other flavors are there?
This is fun. You think they will?
I don't really like abalone. Do you have any? Are there any other flavors? I'll wait. I'll wait. You can try. Okay. So I think Alex's intended question is, hey Luke, how should I watch movies so that I can learn English from them? That's what Alex's real question is. So Alex's question, hey Luke, how do I, what's this flavor? Sorry guys. Porridge with tuna.
You want one?
Yeah.
No?
Soon. So to answer Alex's question, how do I watch movies so that I can learn English from them? Now, there are different things that you're learning in different ways to watch movies. If you watch a movie with subtitles, should be English subtitles, by the way, and you just watch the whole thing and enjoy it, you're going to pick up things, but it's not going to be much. You might get the feeling for how people use humor. You might improve your listening a little bit. You might pick out a few phrasal verbs or a few words. Maybe if you have a little notepad there as you're watching, not even pausing the movie, just write down a few things. Ooh, what's that? What's that? And maybe throughout the whole movie, you've written down 4 or 5 points. Not much, not too serious. That's fine. At least you're absorbing it. You're improving your listening a bit. You're getting a few things out of it. Okay, so that's one level. And I think that's okay because it's boring to be too academic. So the simple answer is you can learn English watching movies casually. If you find you can't understand what people are saying without subtitles, then use subtitles and take notes as you watch. And don't pause too much, just keep watching through. If you want to use movies as a tool for learning a lot of English, that's a different kind of thing. That's a different project. Then you have to do a specific process, and you might regard it as a bit more boring. You have to pick a movie that is your English learning movie, and you say to yourself, this is the movie I'm going to use to learn a bunch of English, pronunciation, words, phrases, idioms, humor, all kinds of things, phrasal verbs, all of that stuff. Then you do need to break it down piece by piece. Then you do need to break it down into chunks. You need to watch maybe 10 minutes at a time. First, when you watch it, you have subtitles on. You're very careful to pause whenever you see something that you don't know and write down everything that you don't know, whether it's an idiom, a phrasal verb, and look that up. Now, try to look it up in an English dictionary, like the free dictionary. Even if it's an idiom, you can look up idioms in the free dictionary. Look them up. Look up example sentences. Make your own sentences underneath. Now, you might say, hold on, this is a little boring. Well, this is the other level, right? It is a way to learn, but if you want to learn a lot and not just a few things when you're watching a movie casually, you've got to be serious about it. You've got to go slowly. So go slowly. Go slowly, 10 minutes at a time. Take as many notes as you can. After you've finished going through the whole movie 10 minutes at a time, maybe it takes you 2 weeks, and you have pages and pages and pages of notes, and you've looked up everything, and you've tried to copy the pronunciation, you've tried to imitate the characters and understand the sounds, and try to link words together. What are you doing? How do I say that? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are they saying? What are you doing? They're saying it quickly. Copy that sound. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? All of these things are things that you do, and you make notes, and you study your notes. When you're on the toilet, you review your notes. This becomes a big project, and maybe one whole movie takes you a whole month. That's fine. Okay, now that's a different thing than watching casually, but this is your learning movie. The last thing you do is you turn off the subtitles. You watch the movie from beginning to end, once, twice, however many times you need, until you understand the entire movie. And you say to yourself as you're watching it without subtitles, I understand exactly what they said there, and there, and there, and there, and there. Because you've mastered it piece by piece. You've looked up everything, right? You've imitated. You've picked up all the pieces. And your listening is now better. So now you're able to hear what people are saying. So now you're also improving your listening skills. So again, this is just 2 different ways to learn. I think both of them are good. It's more enjoyable to learn the first way, but the second way does work, and there are people who do it, get into the routine of doing it, and they improve. It helps a lot. I mean, but you have to pick something you like. It's very important. If you pick a show you hate, a documentary that you are not interested in, then you're going to give up easily. A lot of people like to watch Friends, the TV show, to learn English. Fine. Very good. Some people like to watch documentaries about things that they like. That's fine. That's good. Very interesting. If it's interesting to you, the topic. But it's got to be something you enjoy. If you don't enjoy it, it's easy to give up. Okay? So go out there, start watching movies. And if it's boring, just push through it, because that is honestly a good way to improve your spoken English and your listening. Okay. Good question from Alex. Alex, you got to work on your question asking formatting, frankly. Johnny, I work with children. I say to my children, hold your hands. What's the commonest way to say the opposite command? In Spanish, we say, so hold hands is to do this, right? Hold your hands. Hold your hands is this. Maybe hold hands. You don't even need to say hold hands. If you say hold your hands, then I'm going to hold my own hands. If you say to a group of children, hold hands, then everyone's going to grab another child's hand. Right? It depends on the context. If you don't want people to touch each other because of the virus situation, then say, don't touch each other. That would be one way to do it. If someone is holding hands right now, that person, and you want them to stop, say, let go of him. Let go of each other. Let go of his hand. Let go of each other. Let go of his hand. Let go of her. Let go of this person's hand. So it depends on the situation. If you want to make it more broad, more general, you just say, hey, everybody, don't touch each other. Don't touch each other. No touching. No touching. All right. Wow, guys, we've been going for 2 hours. I am going to grab something to eat, I think. It is about that time of day. I will check back into the group chat later. Again, guys, please be cool in the group chat. Please, if you don't mind, avoid being strange, calling me randomly. I would, guys, don't just call me out of the blue. You wouldn't want people to just suddenly call you out of the blue, right? Especially if you're doing a live stream, right? Guys, that is the definition of being weird. That is weird by definition. I'm starting to realize maybe my definition of weird is different from other people's definition of weird. Personal space, guys, but also please enjoy the group and chat, say what you want to say. I will definitely join in the conversation, and hopefully we'll do another one of these in a few days. I would like to set up the Skype call situation as soon as I can figure out a better way to organize it so that it's so that it runs smoothly. And I hope you all have a great rest of the day. I hope you have a good time. Stay home, watch movies, enjoy yourselves. I am gonna probably watch some movies later. It's Sunday, so again, thanks for joining. I really appreciate it. See you soon. Thanks for the great questions. Don't forget to hit the like button, guys. Much appreciated. And subscribe so that you can see future videos. And also courses in the description. Yes. All right. Thanks for joining. You too. Thanks, guys. See ya.